Hi, Mark here, trust you're well. Welcome to a recording of a live Lightroom skills and support session, which was recorded in January 2026. And in this session, we looked at the last section of syncing our images, and we're looking at the cloud. What do I mean by that? Well, you've got no devices with you. You haven't got Classic or Lightroom. You're in a hotel, the other side of the world, and you've got access to a computer. Well, you can still upload your images for backup or editing or sharing from any computer in the world. So we're going to look at that, and we're also just going to bring everything together. So we're going to bring Classic, Lightroom, our devices, and end the end of this 3-week session all about syncing, sharing, and using the cloud in the Lightroom and Lightroom Classic ecosystem. And then we moved on to our Lightroom Short, where we looked at the refine photo functionality within Classic. Then we concluded our time together with your questions. What's challenging you this week with Lightroom and Lightroom Classic? If you'd like to come and join us, just visit lightroommark.com. Below the introductory video is all our upcoming events. I look forward to welcoming you one day to one of our live Lightroom skills and support sessions. Now, without any further ado, let's jump across to the recording. Right, so evening everybody. This week's the last of the 3rd weeks. We're looking at syncing, and the narrative for the evening is about you're going on safari, or you're going on a cruise, or you're going to India, and you're going with one bag, one camera, your mobile phone, and you want to sync your images, but you've got no technology with you. You haven't got Lightroom with you. You might have it on your phone, and I'm going to show you how you can do it on your phone in a minute. Because we looked at phone a little bit last week, but I'm going to show you how you can do it with a SD card and a reader, etc. But we're going to look at the browser, a web browser. So if you type lightroom.adobe.com, and you can type photoshop.adobe.com, status, account, all these different, Express is another one, and you go to the application. So if you type lightroom.adobe.com, and you can log into your account, and whilst you don't get all the functionality, if you just want to back up your images or share your images or edit your images, you're uploading the files from your camera to the cloud. So if you had a terabyte of storage, you put up a few thousand images and you've got them backed up. So those memories, those images, you've got them when you get home in case anything happens. So let's, okay, so here I am. I'm in a web browser, lightroom.adobe.com, as it says at the top. And I always work in collections, or in this case, it will be an album. It's a way of grouping things together. So the first thing I'll do is I'll hit plus, create an album. I could create a folder, which is a collection set. And just so I know for my organization, I'll just put today's date. And I've created that album. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a SD card reader and just let Peter in. I'm going to take an SD card reader, and I'm just going to plug it in to the computer in the hotel. That's all I'm doing. So I'm plugging it in because we didn't look at SD card readers. And then I'm just going to take my chip and plug it into the reader. And the reason why I'm doing this is the computer that you might be sitting at in a hotel, for example, or an internet cafe might not give you permissions to plug your camera in. Okay, the computer might be locked down slightly, so you need a driver or you need a utility or something, depending on your camera, to connect it. But an SD card reader with an SD card or a CF card can do that. And this is why I love this one. It has a little, just got a little pigtail cable built into it. and this is an OWC. They're about 50, £60, but it's Thunderbolt. Well, it's down to the speed of the card, but it's Thunderbolt 4, I believe this is. So I've just plugged that into a long cable and it's into my Mac Mini. So I'm going to add some pictures. But before I do that, I'd just like to point this little bit out at the bottom here. Import from Google Photos. So there is, on the left-hand side here, some connections, and you can connect to different services within Lightroom. And perhaps we'll look at that one night, on another night, all different connections. So portfolio, blurb, and you can link Lightroom to your external services. For example, Express, Adobe Express, that's linked to Lightroom. So if we go browse, and I'm going to go and select the device, there is my card reader, and I'm just going to import 3 pictures that I've taken. Press open, and it's saying adding 3 pictures, 14 megabytes each, and these are files. You can see they're 14 megabyte files. They're NEF files, they're raw files, and I'm just going to upload them. There you go, see them upload them. Remember, I'm sitting in a hotel, in the foyer of a hotel, and I've just now, there's the first one done, and I can press continue and they'll upload. So you'll see them in a second uploading. Uploading up here. And what I should have done is added them to the album as I uploaded them. But there's the 3 images there. So I can select them. I can add them to the album if I so wish. So I should be able to drag them there. And now in that album, I can edit them. So let's just take the portrait one and let's just make it black and white so it's nice and simple. Bring down the blacks a bit. Go to the black and white mixer. Let's just put a vignette on it slightly so you can just see that I've edited it. So I'm now, it's totally syncing, it's applying those adjustments. With the cloud, you as in on a browser, you need to, what I call, execute. You need to come off the image to make the changes, okay? So doing some edits here, they will not apply to the cloud until you either hit save or you come off the actual image, okay? So you just wait for that to sync. It's now synced, and that's that done. And that's as simple as that. All the other functionality, and it is limited compared to Lightroom. I don't know if you know, Lightroom desktop, Lightroom iPad, Lightroom mobile, that's whether it's Android, iPhone, or Android on a tablet, they've all got slightly different functionality. Not every functionality is available on every device. For example, the object selection brush is not available on the iPad or the iPhone at the moment. Okay, I think it's one of the next things that are coming out. So I've just imported those images. That's it. So let's stop sharing and let's go to an iPad and share. And there we go. There is the black and white image. There's the black and white image, and to show you that I'm going to crop this, and I'm going to crop this to a square. Okay, that's all I'm going to do, just to show you a visual representation of working in the ecosystem. Okay, I'm going to come out of that. There we go. It's now cropped, and you can see the top right-hand corner. It's uploading that change. Nearly done. There you go, that's done. So let's come out of there. And now let's go back to, so here I am. I'm on a web browser, so I need to refresh the page. I click on the page, Command R for refresh. And now you can see it's a square crop. Okay, just come out, go in, see it's a square crop. So it's totally synced. Okay. Now, if I go to Lightroom, I go to the collection in Lightroom, it's already synced. There's the one I put a bit of a vignette on, the second one. You can see the adjustments that I've made down the side here. And there's the one with the crop on it. Okay, here's all the different versions that I've done, all the edits. It's made versions of them automatically. Okay, I go to Classic. Wait for Classic to hurry up. Export. And if I go to Lightroom, so in Classic, when you create an album on a phone, or so in Lightroom Mobile or in Lightroom Cloud, it brings down the album into a collection and it goes into this collection set called From Lightroom. And there is the album that I've created. There's the image. Okay, and you can see it's a copy one because I've made adjustments to it, and copy one there because I've made adjustments. So it's a virtual copy. There is the square. And if I go right click, show in library, and there they are there. There's the images. Okay. They are the files. Okay. So everything syncs together. All right. Is that straightforward? Everyone got that? Yeah.
Mark, can I just
Yes,
ask before we
David.
move on, in terms of time, so if you were, I mean, I can see it's several functions going on there, but
Yeah.
if you were doing that, as you say, in a hotel room or out on safari or whatever, and you've got 2,000 images, would that take an awful long time? Would it
D
take a lot?
depends on your internet speed. It literally depends. If it okay, so let me give you a scenario. Okay, you're in an HGV lorry, 48-ton lorry, and you're driving up the motorway. Right, so you've got 2,000 cans of Coke on the back of the lorry. It can only do 50, 60 miles an hour, but now you get on a Ferrari Testarossa, you can go 250 mile an hour up the motorway, subject to be getting caught.
but not
Yeah,
with so many cans of Coke.
not with so many cans of Coke. Exactly right. Right, so it depends. It literally all depends. If you've got Starlink and you've got 500 megabyte upload, they're going to go up in a few minutes. But if you're on a mobile phone dongle with 8 megabyte upload speed, they're going to take all night. Yeah.
They wouldn't take as long though if you were putting them on a like a terabyte memory card or something like that. Even,
If you're uploading them, it doesn't matter what you put them on.
all right,
If you're uploading them to the cloud, it's all about your internet speed.
but
Right?
you're only putting them in one place, whereas this is moving them around into whatever you have.
I'm putting them into the cloud. So what's my reason for doing this? Well, I'm traveling across India, or I want to go from Mumbai to Darjeeling on the train. It's a 5, 6 day train journey, but I'm going to do it over 3 weeks because I want to go and explore them. And it's relatively safe, but I might get whacked over the head and my camera nicked. Well, if my SD card's in there, my bag's robbed. If my SD card's in, I've lost all my images. So what do you do? Well, in the old days, well, when I used to travel, when I filled up a memory card, I put it in a jiffy bag and I posted it back to me. Okay. I sent it UPS. I found a UPS depot. I stuck it in a jiffy bag and I posted it back to me. So if I was robbed, and I never was, at least I have those images back. But today, I could go into a hotel and I could upload them. I could go into an internet cafe and I could upload them. Yeah, depending on the speed. Okay. But there are other scenarios. For example, you could import them you can import them to an external drive. So Joan is away on a cruise, and I've given her, because I've upgraded my old little portable drive. It's got 1 terabyte ME2, whatever it's called, drive in there. And she just plugs this into the bottom of her mobile phone. I'm going to show you this in a minute. She just plugs this into the bottom of this, and or her camera, and she just moves them all onto this drive. So she's got them on the drive. And that's another way of doing it. There's loads of ways of doing it.
Mm.
It's just which way do you want to do it? So putting them in the cloud gives you backup for backing up your files, etc. But if you're in a relatively safe environment and you've got a laptop or you've got a tablet with you, just put them onto an external drive if you're worried about your internet speed.
Daft question, Mark.
Yeah.
Can you upload
Hi, Peter.
to the hi? Sorry, I'm a bit late. Can you upload to the cloud from the phone using the mobile
Yeah.
signal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll show you.
Yeah.
I'll show you
Yeah.
something in a second. But yeah,
Yeah.
so we looked at that I think last week, didn't we? Yeah. But yes, you can upload from well, I think last week I only showed you taking photos with the phone, but
Yes. Yeah.
I'll show.
Yeah.
But yes.
Brilliant.
So yeah. But yeah, it's only a connection point. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So has anyone any questions about a web browser? All you're doing is you're clicking on the add photos, go and find them on your SD card reader, CF card reader. What I love about this one, I don't know if I bring it in close enough. It's a CF
Yeah.
and SD card reader, and there's not many. I think Lexar make one, and a couple I think there's about 2 or 3 manufacturers in the world that make a dual. But I went for this one because, as I say, it's got a little peg tap, so I've always got a cable with me.
Yeah.
Which is what I love. But what I also love, it's got another USB-C port in the back, so you can put a long cable in. So yeah, so that's what I loved about that. And when
Can you tell us which
hi,
brand that is,
Heather.
please?
How are you, Heather? All right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Last time we spoke, you weren't very well.
Oh yeah, I'm recovered now, thank
Thank
goodness.
you.
3 weeks it took me.
All right, okay. What's your question, Heather?
What's the make of that model you've got?
This is OWC, Otherworldly Computers. Flex International, I buy my OWC stuff from. They come from Northern Ireland. And the other people is Scan that I use.
Don't we have to pay postage, extra postage for Northern Ireland?
No.
No?
And I think anything over £50 is free postage.
Oh.
That, if you buy OWC direct, is about £100. But I think I got that from Scan, and I think I only paid about £50 for that.
How do you spell Scan? Never heard of it.
scan.co.uk. I think because when I saw the price, I went, I'll have that straight away.
Yeah, I should think so.
So I immediately the credit card came out and bought it straight away. I thought, oh, it's a pricing error or something like that. But yeah, I just love that everything's all in that one. It's not even an inch tall. So it's what, 3 inches square and not even an inch tall, but it's both formats and so on. So, but yeah, so that's that. So, but yeah, all you do is you hit the add photo on the web browser, you find your images in your Finder, your Explorer, and they upload, and that's it. And you're uploading them to the cloud. They're still on my chip. They're still on here. They're being copied until I format the chip. Okay. Everyone all right with that?
So is it only in the browser Lightroom that when you edit, it automatically creates a virtual copy?
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. That's a nice feature.
Yeah. So you in Lightroom, you press the version and it creates the version. You rename it and it creates it. Okay. So let me go across. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, he says, I'm going to share the screen on here, but I want to show you what I'm going to do. So all I've got is a USB-C cable in the bottom. Okay. And all I'm going to do, and it's a Thunderbolt 4, this one is, but it doesn't matter. It can be any USB. It's just the speed that they transfer from the card. So all I'm doing is I'm plugging that into the back of there. And now I'm plugging that. And you can get Apple do a little dongle. And I've got mine somewhere. I don't know where. But so there you go. That's all I've got. Okay. It's a mobile phone, and it could be my tablet. Okay. And my card reader. So I've attached the device. It's popped up. And I'm going to select some of the photos that I took today. I'm going to import those 4 photos. And one's already been imported. 3 of them are there. And there we go. And you see importing 4. One's already in the cloud. And you can see they're uploading. And that's it. As simple as that. I've just now imported those into Lightroom.
That's brilliant, Mark.
Yeah.
Because now I can go somewhere, come back after a 2-hour shoot, go
Yeah.
to the car, upload to the cloud, and I know it's safe.
Yeah.
No matter what happens to
Yeah.
that's superb.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. It's everyone's got a different workflow for different needs. My methodology, it's to show you all the little skills. So this is what we can do and so on. So I've now depending on your device and your permissions and your cameras and so on, I could have plugged that into my camera.
Yeah.
Okay, so there may be some steps for you personally to go through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you could just plug your phone in there.
Yeah.
You could use Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Nikon is Snap Bridge. Who's got the Canon one? Anybody?
I've got a Canon.
Canon, is it Canon Connect or something?
Yeah,
Is it
use it all the time.
Yeah, Canon Connect, isn't it? So, but the problem with Bluetooth, from my experience, it eats your battery for your camera, and
Yeah.
it takes ages.
Yeah.
Absolutely ages.
The
I
Canon Connect one, I have it set because my wife likes the photos now.
Yeah,
So I have it set so it converts the raw files
yeah,
on the fly to a JPEG.
yeah.
It only transputs the JPEG.
JPEG. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And
Snap. Yeah,
then I do a quick shuffle and edit on there, and then I WhatsApp them the ones at the end of the day if
Yeah.
we're on a cruise, and then the 10 photos, the good ones from the day, I've offloaded to my wife. She's very
Yeah.
happy, and I don't have to do anything else.
yeah.
And what I do, which is
Mhm.
why I'm listening to you, is that at the end of the day, I put that card away in the safe.
Yeah.
We get to typically go on a cruise, and I don't use that card anymore, and I stick another one in for the next day.
Yeah, and that's great.
And
Brilliant.
I shy away from using the internet because on the cruise, the internet is horrendous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only time we use the internet is when we go to a port.
Mhm.
At the port, there's usually free internet, but
Right.
I usually
Yeah.
I just want to go somewhere else. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I mean, I am interested in using a phone or a tablet to take it off, and then stick it on.
Yeah.
These little beasties, which are
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
cheaper than yours.
Yeah.
This is like 4 terabyte one.
Yeah.
Which costs about 50 quid.
Yeah,
They're not
SanDisk,
fast.
isn't it, that one? SanDisk one?
It's like a SanDisk one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's because they are so cheap. You could potentially do it twice.
Yes. Yeah. Well, has it got a couple of USB ports on that one?
No, it's just one USB-C.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I've lost it. There it is. This is why I went for this one.
Yeah. I
I've
get
got
that.
3 ports.
Yeah.
So, and this I can plug into
Power into it.
power.
Yeah.
Then I plug it into my laptop. So the power is powering this, is also
Yeah.
powering my laptop, but I also can plug a camera in there, and then I import from the camera using
to
the
there.
computer onto the drives in here. So
Yeah.
the files don't go on the laptop itself because I don't put any files on my devices. They stay on storage devices.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't, and the reason why is if I lose the computer, I only lose the software. I don't lose the files. If I
yeah, yeah.
lose, my Mac Mini burns down or whatever, I don't lose my data. I haven't. It's easy for me to pick up and move on, and that's the same with this. And I can take this with me, or I can put this in the hotel safe easily, and so on. But yes, same philosophy. Yes, so you might want to look at getting a little hub, a little data hub. You can get little data hubs about
Yeah,
size
yeah,
this that you
yeah, yeah,
USB-C, you plug it into the mains, and then you plug your
yeah, yeah.
iPad into it, and then that drive you can plug into it.
And none of my iPads yet are USB-C, so that's what I'm
Uh,
looking for.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm interested you say go for a mini.
Well, I've got a Mac Mini M4 Mac Mini Pro,
Right.
because that's Thunderbolt 5, and I've got 65 gig of RAM in mine. Because it's always the RAM, because I don't worry about storage. I got 64 gig of RAM in my one. So I'm an Apple M4 Pro, and the reason why Pro is that the USB-C ports are Thunderbolt 5 on the Pro chip. Okay. And mine was under £2,000. And when I looked at a studio for images and the little bit of video editing I do, which is not a lot, and most of my clips are only 30 seconds or so, 30, 60 seconds that I sell. Um, the studio was, well, I'm spending another £1,000 that I don't need to. So I've just pumped it up on the about my Mac. Apple M4 Pro 64 gig with 1 TB of storage. So the M5 is due out any day now.
So the M4 will be nice cheaper.
Yeah, yeah. So and then this is a MacBook Pro, whatever it is, 12-inch, 13-inch, whatever. M4 Pro again, Thunderbolt 5, but it's only got 45 gigabytes of RAM. So, because I don't think it does any more than that. So it's the RAM. The RAM is how many things it can juggle at the same
Yeah.
time. So, but yeah. So I love my Mac Mini. I've had it about a year now. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I got it about 2 months ago. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I couldn't justify the difference in the cost. So let's go back sharing screen because I
Oh,
imported.
I have a question.
Yes, Jay.
When you plugged in the camera or the SD card, were you in Lightroom Mobile or did it
Yeah.
automatically?
In
So-
Lightroom on here. Lightroom on here.
So you first opened up Lightroom Mobile on your phone,
Yep.
then you plugged it in.
In some operating systems, when you plug a chip in, it will launch straight away. You can have it set to launch straight away. So there's a little
Okay.
blue down the corner, there's a little blue bubble, and you just hit on the left-hand side, and it launches the importer.
Okay.
So yeah, but most of them now will just open up when you plug it in. It'll open up Lightroom for you.
Okay.
But yeah, Lightroom's always open. Lightroom's always open. Whatever I'm doing, it's always open. So now, if I go back to the cloud, refresh, make sure I click on the browser. There's the extra images. I didn't put them in a collection, but there they are. There's the 3 that I just imported. That one, and that one. There's the one that I imported earlier, and the other 2. Those are the ones I've imported off the phone. Those 3, oops. Those 3 there I imported off the phone. Okay. And if I want to, I can highlight them and drag them to that album. And now they're in that album. Refresh the page, just to make sure. There you go. So there's the first one I imported in the first batch on the web browser. There's the second one that's got the vignette on it. There's the one we made black and white. There's the next one that I imported off the phone. And now I go to my collections, it will sync in a minute and they'll come in there. But if I go to Lightroom, there you go. There they are in Lightroom on my desktop. So I could be on my laptop at this point, just demonstrating this location. So there's the first three that I put in. There's the next three I put in, which I put in from my phone. I could have done it from a web browser. I could have done it from a tablet. And we just got to wait for these to sync. Okay. There they are. They just come in there. And there they are there they are. 1, 2, 3. So everything's a whole ecosystem. All syncs to each other. It's just the user interface that we use. Different user interfaces will have different functionality, as I said earlier. The object brush tool is not available on mobile at the moment. Okay, the web browser is very limited. It's basic editing. Okay, but it's editing and sharing. I can share that album with anybody. So, Jonathan, you were saying that you were sharing by WhatsApp. You could actually create an album with the date in it and put them in Lightroom on your phone, tablet, or whatever, and you're actually you're sharing that album with your wife, but you're also doing a little bit of your work for yourself rather than putting them on WhatsApp. So
WhatsApp, I can get to her phone. Using
it's what suits
whatever
you.
it is drop with. Basically, we made the mistake of going on one and trying to buy an internet package and decided that then our children could get hold of us, and that wasn't good. So it's a lot better not being on and only being on when you're in the port. No, you can't get hold of us.
That's I understand that. So if you're worried about, in a connected world, depending on your mobile phone provider, whoever it is, I'm with EE and I've got European roaming in my tariff. So I've got unlimited data I've got a little router. It looks like that. I'll show you it next week. It's just somewhere over there somewhere. It's a square little box, and it creates a proper Wi-Fi. It's a Wi-Fi 6 bubble. And it's got batteries in it. And why I bought that is a group of us go, and it sits in the top of my rucksack back here. So as long as we're within 100 meters of each other, they all log on to my hotspot. So it's one connection, unlimited data, and everyone clocks on. So we're not using everybody else's data or whatever. In the EU, you can pay £2 something a day. Well, there's 8 of us going. That's £16 each day. They're all paying between themselves. Well, no, they just log on to my Wi-Fi. I'm paying it anyway. 20 something quid a month or whatever it is, and I've got unlimited data anywhere in Europe. So we all just piggyback onto the Wi-Fi and away we go. So there's lots of different options. It's what suits people. So that's it really. We did classic, syncing classic. We've done Lightroom. We looked at the mobiles. We looked at a bit of mobiles there, and we've now done a web browser. So cloud is basically an SD card in Amazon's server with the word Adobe put on it. You got 20 gig, 100 gig, 1 terabyte, 10 terabyte, and you just send up your files to your SD card in the cloud, and they then come down to your other devices. You can share, when you share from a web browser, from mobile, you share the file, it includes or it counts towards your storage. So 20 gig, the average 20 megapixel camera will give you about 2,000 or so images into the cloud. So it's great. And you want to share, you want to sync them with your devices and backup and so on. It's brilliant. It's a great way. These days, I keep looking at the way I do things. I now only really use Adobe's Lightroom Cloud, the cloud services, to sync between me and my
Yeah.
devices. I don't really share that much my albums. I use the web services, or I use a plugin that goes off to, so the web module. Sorry, I use the web module, or I'll use something like Portfolio, or I'll use Meow Apps, which is a plugin that goes to WordPress, or I'll create a web gallery or something like that, and I'll just sync it through Classic. But yeah, it's it's a great ecosystem. Is there anything that anybody wants me to share with them about the whole, so Classic, Lightroom, Cloud, Mobile, over the last 3 weeks? Anything you got questions about that you want to share before we leave this subject?
Yes, I've got something.
Is that David?
Yeah. If I am away and I use SD card and put it into my laptop,
Yep.
and then it syncs back to my computer here.
Mm-hmm.
I then put them into a collection.
Mm-hmm.
I
In
move them.
Classic.
I move them, and then I put them into a collection.
Yep.
I then go back to Lightroom on my iMac and delete them to stop
Yeah.
but that also then deletes them out of a collection.
Okay, so it's about the order you do them in.
Okay.
Okay, so what David is talking about is when you send them to the cloud from your devices and they sync back to Lightroom, how do you free up your storage? Okay, and that's what basically David's saying. So you first have to move them out of the cloud. Okay, so you go to your folder structure and you move them out of the cloud. Okay, so, and how you tell they're in the cloud is if you go up to catalog, it will show you the images that are in the cloud. And you can see the icons. Can you see the little icon here, top right hand corner? It's got a little squiggle on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're in the cloud. Okay, now if they're in your cloud folder structure, which is here, this is where they are. Okay, all right, but in my case, they're on a local drive now because they've been moved. Okay, so what you can now do is before you add them to the collection, you can make a collection, but don't sync the collection yet. So let's go to that one here, collection 2026 0126_1. So I'm not going to sync it with the cloud. So then I'm just going to take these images and I'm now going to put them in that collection. So there they are, they're in the collection. So now I should be able to go to the cloud. So I'm in the cloud now, and I'm going to remove them from Lightroom. Okay, so let's go there. Sorry, I did it in the wrong place. I did it in an album. I removed them from the album. So I'm now going to remove them from the cloud. So hopefully they're local. And these will remove. But now if I click here, these will sync. Okay. So it's about doing it in the order. Okay, and these, you can see they started to, you see the icon's gone.
Yeah.
The icon's gone because I've deleted them in the cloud, but they're still on the computer. There they are, they've disappeared out the album collection. There they are in my smart previews. So in a minute, there they are, they've gone out of that album. That's the original ones. In a minute, they'll come into here. There you go. Starting to sync. Sorry, they're syncing. Okay. So it's about the order you do it in.
Just a small point,
Yeah.
Mark. Going back, what I was having problems. You doing it that way, and then it goes into the folder. Do you have to delete from the photos in that synced photo? So you actually delete them.
So what you have in Classic, you have to move them out of the cloud, the physical location of the cloud.
Yeah.
If you delete them in the cloud folder, wherever it is on your computer,
Yeah.
you're deleting them from the cloud. You don't
Yeah.
want to do that. What you
Right.
need to do is move them from the cloud
Yes.
into a local location, right? Then you go to a cloud user interface.
Yes.
So that could be a web browser, that could be
Yeah.
your mobile phone, that could be Lightroom desktop.
Yeah.
I find it easier on Lightroom desktop, the user interface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that. But
Yeah.
when you looked at it, those 6 synced photos before you moved them,
Yeah.
are they still there or have they been moved?
You moved them.
They've been.
You drag them. You drag them out of. So normally
You've dragged them out of the sync.
I would have dragged them, but because I'd already imported them last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So normally they would have appeared here.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's just do something to show you. So I've just taken a picture on my phone.
Yeah.
That's now syncing. I've taken it with the phone just to make it easier, and it will appear up here shortly.
In the sync photos.
In
Yeah.
in the location that when it's finished syncing, in this location up here.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
finish syncing unless I've changed it. I haven't changed it, right? Oh, look. No, that's right. A little peer up here in a minute. It will
Yeah.
create a folder, 26, and will appear up here. The reason why they appeared down here was because it was the same images that I was using last week,
Got you.
19th.
Yeah.
So, there we just wait. Still syncing. There we go. There comes the folder, 26.
Yeah.
Okay. So now there comes the image is coming in. Just see that there. So this is the location. This is the cloud locally, like on Dropbox and things like that. And so on. And it's now just syncing that file that I took.
When you're waiting, it's like paint dry, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes it's mega fast and sometimes it's mega slow. So he's syncing one photo. Come on. But it will come in there, and then what I'll do is I'll click and I'll drag that and I'll put this.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And then once it's there,
yeah,
I'll delete it. And to answer David's question, once it's there and delete it, then I'll add it to the collection.
Cloud. Yeah. Got you.
And then it'll go back
it'll
up.
Sit back. Yeah.
It'll then go back up as a smart collection. A smart preview, which will then will not include in my storage.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's included in my storage because it's a file.
Yeah. I get that, Mark. Sorry.
There we go. There we go. So it's now come in. So now I'm going to drag that, drop that there.
Yeah.
It's now local.
Yeah.
Now I can go to the photo. I can delete it in the cloud. I'm just using Lightroom desktop as an interface.
Yeah.
I can now add that to the collection.
Yeah.
There it is to the collection. That collection is going to sync, and this will sync back to the cloud shortly.
Got me. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a question on that.
Yes, Jay.
When I went to look at catalog and all synced photographs, I had a bunch of photographs that I have taken on my phone recently, and they're in the cloud. But I had something like 1,200 photographs that are in a folder on my hard drive, why are they're still in the all synced photographs?
Because they're still sitting in the cloud.
So I should delete those from within
If you go to
Classic.
if you go to if you don't want them in the cloud, but you want them on your local in Classic, what you
Right.
do,
They're already local in my Classic, so they're
yeah,
both local and in the cloud.
yeah. So you come up to your filter up here, sync status, and it'll be showing originals. No, synced and backed up. That one there, and that'll show you all the pictures that are in the cloud.
Okay.
Okay.
And and if I don't want them there, I can delete
You
them.
can just delete them in the cloud. Yeah, making sure that you have them local to you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Oops, wrong button there. Okay, everyone happy with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
Right.
you.
Someone going to say something else then?
No, I just said thank you.
Okay, Dave. Right. Okay. So let's move on to the next bit. So we talked about last week, or I started talking about last week, refined photo, and I think I should show you what that is. So for this week's Lightroom short, I'm going to show you in Classic what refined photo is. And it's a different way of culling. So let's, I did a collection. Let's just get in the right place. There we go. So culling is, do I want it? Don't I want it? It's white flag, unflagged, or black flag. You can apply any terminology to what white flag is, what unflagged is, what black flag is. What the, I suppose, official way is white flag is pick, means yes, I like it. Unflag is you haven't done anything with it or haven't chosen or don't know or whatever. So I have very few unflagged images in a collection or a folder that I have culled. That's the important bit. I have culled. So when I import, all my images are unflagged, then I go through them. Yes or no? Do I like it? Don't I like it? Okay, and I'm looking for my keepers. And I might have two or three very similar. And if I've got two or three very similar, that's fine, but I won't have 20 very similar. I'll get rid of the 17 that I don't want. They'll be black flagged. So there's several ways we can do the methodology of culling. So we can go P and X, pick and reject, and just go through picking and rejecting them. Or we could do refine photo. So let me show you what refine photo is. So I have here 200 images, and refine photo is about picking the ones you like. That's all it is. And you could do that by just clicking on it and pressing P. So I like that picture. And I'm just looking for the images that I like. That's all I'm doing. I'm asking that one question. I press tab there to give me more screen real estate. And I'm just going to slide the slider bottom right hand corner to go a bit bigger. So I could turn on an attribute if I wanted to. So show me all my unflagged images. So once I've picked one, they disappear. Or I could just have them all on and just scroll through them with my wheel. But when I want to use refined flag, how I use it is I use the paint cam. And I go flagged, and it's a picked image. So when I just scroll through and I spray on the images that I like. That's all I'm doing. I'm just scrolling through. Yes, I like that one. And if I want to activate an image, I click on the cell around the outside, and then that means I can go spacebar. And then I go back to G, spray on the image, the actual thumbnail itself, not on the grey bit, on the actual image. And then just come down. I want to have a look at that one full screen. Yeah, I like that one. Back to G, spray on the image. Let's have a look at this one. No, I don't like that one. Let's have a look at this one. Click on the image. Yeah, I like that one. Back to G. That means I can spray again. And I'm going to spray on those two. Spray on that one. And spray on that one. And I'm just going through the images. And I'm just picking the ones that grab out to me straight away. Okay. On there. On there. On there. Just wandering through. Okay, so I've just picked some images. Now, I'm going to put the cam back. Always put the cam back on the shelf. Put the cam back in the dock. Now, what you do is we come up to Library, Refine Photo. What Refine Photo is now going to do, all the images that I have picked, it's going to unpick them, and all the photographs that I have not picked, so they're unflagged, unpicked, and the ones that are rejected, they are going to be all rejected. So all that will be left are the picked images, but they will now be unflagged. And there we go. So now I can go attributes, show me all the unflagged images, and now all the images that I flagged are now unflagged. So I can go back through them again and say, right, I'm now through my now second cull. Which ones do I like? So I could sit there and say, right, look at these two. Press N, side by side. I prefer the one on the left. I now go pick on that first one. Okay, I've just sprayed on it. Okay, and now I'm sitting again, right, let's look at these two images. Go N. Okay. I prefer the one on the right. Now I could click on the one on the right and press P and do it that way. Okay, it's not one way of doing it. I could take these three images here, press N. Okay, I quite like this one here. So I've made this the active image. I'm going to P it. And actually, I quite like this one here as well. So I've clicked on this image with my mouse, press P again. Press G, come back down. I like this one. I'm going to spray on this one. Definitely like that one. Definitely like that one. And we're going to select that one and that one. Okay, so I've now selected a load more images. So I go Library, Refine, the images that are, there's the images. Let's just turn that off. There we go. Right, and I've got the images that are left. Okay, and that's it. That's exactly what we do. Okay. So I'll now go, show me the unflagged images, no filter. There's the unflagged images. What ones are left? And I could do it again. Go through, pick that one, pick that one, pick that one. So now I've got some unflagged images and flagged images. Refine, Library, Refine, Refine. Okay. Show me my unflagged images. There's my unflagged images. So it's a different way of culling images. Okay, all right. You're just going through a set of images. So if you've got 2000s of wildlife or something like that, you can go through your first lot, leave the ones that you know they're out of focus or you don't like the composition, and then go through them again, picking the ones that you prefer. You're wheeling it down, wheeling it down, wheeling it down, and you just change the attribute filter to only show what's left, which are unflagged. And then you'll get to your last, maybe third time you do it, or fourth time, or whatever it is, depending on how many images, and you've just got the picked ones left, and that's it. So that's what Refine Photo is.
What it does in my, let's see if I understand it. When you hit refined, you'll have either unflagged or all X in your group.
Once it's done it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It takes the picked ones, the white flag ones, it removes that picked flag and makes it unflagged, and everything else will be rejected.
Got it.
So if you haven't picked it, it'll be rejected, and it will then return to the unpicked status.
Got it.
Yeah.
But just hang around.
Sorry?
But just hang around, not doing anything until you decide at some point to delete them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see one big advantage of that
Mm-hmm.
is that when I do a white flag and I'm working, and then I come back the next day and work on another collection, I forgot that my attribute is set to white flag.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get confused. Whereas if I leave it as unflagged and then my final set, and then I come back the next day, it'll be essentially like none. I don't have to click on none.
Yeah.
So
that's where you, so with, took me a long time to work out how I was going to use this functionality. So in folders and in collections, you can now color label. So if you come to a folder, you can go right click, add a color label. I'm put red on there, so it puts a little red label on there. Okay, and I can come here on this, right click, add a color label, and it puts a little marker on it, red color label. If I come up to metadata, color labels, edit, you can name them. So there's the images, color labels for images. You can name them. And then you've got color labels for folders. You can name them there. And color labeled names for collections. Okay. And then you've got different sets. You can call them, yeah, groups and so on. Refined status, to be deleted, color, and so on, etc. So you can change the status of it. Okay, so you can have like 3 memories, but you can have more than 3 actually. But yeah, so you can name them. So when you so let's say we do this one. Press yep, change. So now if I put on here, put a red color label on here. If you watch the screen, it should say to delete. Oh, it isn't, but that's on the screen. It will say, look, to delete. And it puts the red color label on there. Let's put that back. Red color label on there. Okay.
You've done the whole folder.
Yeah, it's how you want to use it. How do you want to use it? You know, so I have the same methodology. Red means stop. I haven't done anything to it. I've got an end goal. The end goal is to publish a photograph, to sell a photograph, to, you know, a financial reward for somehow, or it's going to go into a journal and so on. So red means stop. I'm going to do something with it. Yellow means I'm halfway there. I've done something to it or whatever. Green means it's all fully done. So when I'm halfway through culling a folder or a collection, I'll put a yellow color label on it. And when I've done that whole collection or that whole folder, I put a green color label on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and if I haven't done anything to it, but it's in my workflow, I'll put a red one on there. It means I haven't done anything to it.
Nice.
And it's the same for images, it's the same for folders, and it's the same for collections because I'm thick.
Mark,
Yeah.
when you
Yes, David.
when you put the Camp Maisie 200 images, you reduced to 5,
Yeah.
and then red labeled them. Would that be the 5? Because it was looking as though it was 200 red labeled.
It's the collection I've put a color label on, not the images.
So it's all of them.
It's the collection.
Yeah.
It's not the images. The images, you do it on the image. Okay.
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So you have to decide in your workflow. So
It's like a color folder if you have
yeah,
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
it's
So
like
this collection means I haven't done anything to it. If I want to do it on the image, I press 6 on the image.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Where's the image gone? Oh, there it is. All right, it's on the image there. Okay, so if I press 7, all right, it's got a yellow image on it now. There it is there. And it's red means, to me, red means I haven't done anything to it. But now I'm doing things to it. So I would change that to a yellow color label in my, that means I'm halfway through doing things because I'm halfway through editing them or picking them or whatever. So it's just a little visual symbol to tell me that I've done something to it.
yeah. And I
Yeah.
can see that if you've been away and
Yeah.
you've got a keep a folder for every day,
Yeah.
you mark them all up as red,
Yeah.
and then you work through them.
Yeah. But you know, it.
Yeah, yeah,
What I'm trying to do is show you these tools, and it's for you to decide how you want to use them. It took me when they brought out naming of so they had color labels for images,
yeah,
and they had that for years. And then they brought out in something like Classic version 12 color labels for folders and collections. And I openly said in this group, I don't know if I want to use them and how I'm going to use them. And it took me over a year to work out, oh, I had this, eureka moment. Oh, I could actually the same workflow I could apply to a folder and collection. Right, boom. But you might have another use of them. What I do, Jonathan, my workflow, as most of you will know, 1 star is this
yeah,
button here on all my cameras. If I like an image on the back of the camera, so I'm chimping, I'll put 1 star on it, which I have a smart collection show me all my 1 star images. And then when I'm working on it, I'll put 2 stars on it,
yeah,
but only when I'm working on it. So it's and it's only about 12 images at a time. I'm dipping in and out. And when I've finished that narrative for today or whatever, I will take the 2 stars off them.
yeah,
I will go 0 on them because I'm not working on them, but they will be yellow color labeled because I'm working on them, but I'm not working on them today. I
yeah,
might
yeah,
leave it, I might have a mental block with, I don't know what I'm going to do with the edits. Do I want to go black and white? Do I want to go, you know, punchy saturation? I don't know. So they're yellow color label. I've started editing them, but I haven't got to the finish and I'm not editing them today. So there'll be 0. But if I then open up that collection and start editing on them, I'll press 2. Reason why is when I used to be at home, the wife used to say, going out now, you've got to come now. And then I'd come back and go, where was I? Well,
yeah.
now I put 2 stars on it. I know where I am. But the
I will
discipline bit is,
confess.
sorry,
Okay,
Jonathan.
I was going to say, I confess, I do not use Lightroom. I know I probably should. I use Bridge all the time.
Hmm.
So I am furiously trying to convert in my head
Yeah.
between the two. But I've just
Yeah.
looked at Bridge, and Bridge has got color coding on folders as
It,
well now.
yes, it has. However, Bridge does not sync.
No, no, no. Oh, yeah, I realise that. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
have them on like,
And does when you I was asked a long time ago, it may have changed, and I had to send the off to Adobe to ask the question because we couldn't get it to do it. And I'm saying it must do it. It must do it. The color attributes in Bridge at the time I asked the question, so they may have updated it and so on, does not apply to the image. So if when you import the image into Classic, the color label
okay,
doesn't come with it.
yeah, I would know.
Yeah.
I'm, but, but following on, I mean, I'm a member of St Ives Camera Club in East Anglia, and a lot of our customers, a lot of our users use Lightroom, but none of them knew that, and most of them have got the plan that the 20 terabytes, what most people have, is purely for the photos, and it doesn't apply to the collections.
Okay.
Nobody knew that, which stunned me, because they said it's not enough.
Yeah, it's
Use it.
it's about using it. It's about using it, and asking. I was
And asking someone like you,
well, I was talking to my postie today, and he always pops in for a cup of tea. And we were talking about one, and he said, "Oh, you've been to university." I said, he said, "What's my kids are on about university and so on. What's the point of university?" And I showed him the clip from Tulsa, I think it's called. It's on Paramount by Sylvester Stallone in there. And there's a line in there about college and a college degree, which is our universities. And he said basically says to employer that you completed a series of tasks over a considerable period, 3 to 4 years. You've completed them successfully to a good standard, and you're not going to mess up his business. And that's what a degree does. And I said to him, yeah. And the other thing it does, it gives you an inquiring mind. You're not going to accept that what you're told, oh, really, can I do it this way? Not for change's sake, but is there a better way that I can do things? And that's the approach that I have with classic, and say, well, it's designed to do this, and I understand that, but the rating attribute is supported from camera to smartphone to Photoshop to on ones. Well, that's a unique artifact. No other attribute does that. I don't want to use it for a good image or a bad image. I want to use it for some formula. So I'm interrogating, I'm asking these questions. And if you don't ask these questions about how can you use this and how can you do that, and irrespective if it was designed for it, you'll never get the most out of the platform, the users. So, and that's why I've got over 400,000 images in my work catalog in the cloud. All smart previews.
Yeah.
Okay. So there we go. Cloud. You should all now be able to take photos, sync photos anyway. We will revisit the cloud when I am in Malta, which is in April. I will do some videos while I'm on location. So I will be showing you, I'm taking pictures of my camera, I'm syncing them actually physically in the port, in the street, and so on. So, and then in the evening when I come back, I'll play you that video and then I'll show you the next bit. So I'll be adding metadata on my phone, perhaps editing them or sitting having coffee or in the beach or something. So to show you in real time, without just doing it on this computer, this is what we can do.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll show you this. It's all planned. That is for April. That is. So how you can use the whole ecosystem. So when you go away, Mark showed us we could do this, and Mark showed us how to do that. No. So you don't have to take your computer with you, but you don't have to duplicate your workflow.
No.
And that's
why
the thing.
I'm doing a lot of duplication.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you're not duplicating your images and you're not duplicating your workflow. And my task is to get my workflow as I want it, but not going to the cloud. And that's what this is for. So I will share that in Malta as well. So I'll show you what it's designed to do, what it's supposed to do, but I'll also show my interpretation of my workflow. So and that will be deliberately, I'm showing you then because I'm away from this computer. So you'll see this catalog on my laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and most humans, they learn visually. So that's that. So that's I've shown you refined photos, a different way of culling, and we've now concluded the basics of the cloud. Does anyone need any help this week at all? Anyone got any questions?
No.
No? No? Everyone all right?
Just a small point from
Yes,
the
Peter.
meeting I had. I'm now sorted, and after 2 years of pulling my hair out, I'm getting there. So thank
Brilliant.
you.
Well done. Peter, I think you need to double opt in for your email newsletter. You're sitting
Right.
you'll have had an email back from MailChimp saying, please confirm your email address.
Right. I'll do that.
So that's I saw you signed up, but I saw you it was still pending double opt-in. So just to let you know.
Right. I'll have a look at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's that. There is an update to Lightroom Classic came out the other day.
Oh.
I think it's 15.1.1. I think it's only a small security update. Let's click on the right thing. Yeah, 15.1.1. So it was a small little bug update or something, security update or something. So that's there, but it'll be in the newsletter. It came out a day or so ago. So
Great.
but it'll be in the newsletter.
Thank you.
Nobody else? Any questions? No. So next week we are looking at backing up. So we're looking at backing up your catalog. We're looking at managing your backups, which is a new functionality. It's been out, I think it was version 15 it came out, so it's been out a few months, but you couldn't, you had to externally manage duplicate backups or not duplicate, but legacy old backups. You had to delete them outside of Classic. Now you can do that inside Classic. I'll also talk to you about updates and renaming catalogs and so on, etc. But also we'll look at backing up your images, which is a different. Classic does not store your images. You need a workflow of backing up your images. So I will show you Good Sync, and I will show you Backblaze. I'll take a picture of my setup and I'll talk about my setup. I wouldn't expect anybody to have what I've got, but you could take the philosophy of having two drives, and that's your working drive and that's your backup archive drive, and do that very little cost wise. And then we'll look at cloud storage and different options you've got. But I'll also show you Good Sync, which is a piece of software that I use to take particular parts. And it's not just Lightroom, but lots of different data, and I put it in different places and different hard drives, different network drives, different cloud storages. So I'm fully backed up. Whatever I've sat there and tried to do my due diligence. What happens if this happens? What happens if that happens? What happens if this happens? And I think I've covered myself that everything that every permutation that I've thought of would I've got a backup somewhere else. Okay, last chance. Nobody any questions? No? I will endeavour to do the recording tomorrow morning for you and send you via Eventbrite the recording link. And there's a few more videos going out up on YouTube and things like that this week. So I've done some shortcuts and keyboard. I did one about crop overlay. So little video. So last chance. No one any questions? I think Jay's gone to sleep. He's been very quiet tonight.
Nope, I'm awake.
Okay. All right then, guys. Well, lovely to see you. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Bye-bye.
And see you soon. Take care. All the best. Bye.